All right, let's unpack this. You asked us to dive deep into the really vibrant world of car audio competitions in Trinidad and Tobago. Specifically, you wanted to get a handle on the legitimacy of judges, these claims of bias, and also what's up with those blackout lithium batteries.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing in this deep dive, trying to, cut through the noise a bit. We've looked at the articles and research you sent, and we want to figure out what's truly going on in this, well, unique scene.
Yeah, give you a clear picture. We found some surprising stuff, actually, and hopefully connect the dots between that local passion and maybe some global standards.
Mm-hmm.
So your notes flag this idea right away. Internationally recognized judges. In the car audio world, what does that actually mean? How do the big global bodies set that standard?
That's really the crucial starting point, isn't it?
Yep.
Globally, you've got these major players, IASCA, USACi, and MECA. And they're not just names. They're the organizations that actually set up clear, written rules for fair competition. They have really distinct judging criteria for, say, sound quality 6U. That's about how clean the music sounds, accuracy.
The fidelity.
Exactly. Versus SPL, sound pressure level.
Yeah.
Which is just, pure loudness. How loud can you get?
Gotcha.
And they even have certified judge training, like the MECP program is a well-known one. It's all about making sure judging is consistent and verifiable. Legitimacy you can actually point to.
Okay, so that's the global benchmark.
Yeah.
Now, applying that to Trinidad and Tobago, what did our research turn up? Do the local judges hold these kinds of formal international certification?
Well, that's where it gets interesting, and it's a really key distinction, especially given those claims of international recognition sometimes thrown around. Frankly, we found no direct evidence, nothing concrete saying that any specific local judge in TNT holds formal certification from those specific international bodies like IASCA or USACi.
Huh. So it points to maybe a lack of that formal third-party governance, something independently checked.
Precisely. That seems to be the situation, a lack of that verifiable third-party oversight.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so beyond the judges, you also flagged concerns in your notes about bias and favoritism towards certain shops. What did the research show there, especially about the names mentioned, like D. Black Ombre Promotions, Simplicity Creations, and there was a Mega Boys Promotions?
Right, yeah. It's important to clarify the roles here, because the query, understandably, kind of mixed them up a bit. D. Black Ombre Promotion, yes. Definitely an event organizer. They put on the shows.
Okay, promoter.
But Simplicity Creations is different. They're a well-known, high-profile car audio shop, a competition team, really, known for some seriously impressive builds like that black Nissan Almera you mentioned in the notes, the one people said could basically match a music truck in volume. That's likely their kind of work.
Wow, okay, so shop and team, not promoter. And Mega Boys Promotions.
That name didn't actually pop up in the specific context of the articles and research we reviewed for this, so maybe a different player or context there.
Got it. So it's less about mistaken identity and more about understanding who does what. But what does this whole setup, the promoters, the shops, mean for that perception of fairness you mentioned?
That's the crux of it, really. When you look at the bigger picture, Trinidad's car audio scene seems, well, tightly interconnected. Promoters, the custom audio shops building the cars, even product distributors, they often have close commercial ties.
Mm-hmm. Business relationships.
Exactly. So you can imagine a scenario, right? A promoter might have links, maybe even an affiliation, with a specific shop or team. Now, this creates a kind of systemic incentive. They might naturally want their guys, their affiliated teams or shops to do well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It doesn't automatically mean there's overt cheating going on, but it absolutely can foster that perception of bias. It looks a bit like maybe boxing, where a promoter obviously has a vested interest in their own fighters winning.
Right, the potential conflict of interest, even if unspoken. That clarifies things a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch over to the other really intriguing bit from your notes. The Blackout lithium batteries. Listener wanted to know if this is some big international brand. What did you find?
Yeah, this is a cool discovery. The surprising truth is, nope, Blackout is not an international brand like, say, Limitless Lithium or VMAX, those big names you see globally.
Really? So what is it?
It's actually a local product line, custom built, right there in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow, okay.
And from what we gathered from user comments and posts, it has a really strong reputation locally. High performance is the key thing people talk about. We saw mentions of it supporting massive power systems like 25,000 watts RMS, holding a stable 15 volts. And apparently, with a proper battery management system, a BMS, built in.
So its legitimacy, its reputation, it's not built on global marketing at all. It's entirely based on proven performance and word of mouth within that specific TNT car audio community.
Exactly. It's pretty fascinating, actually. It's a great example of local innovation stepping up to meet a really specific, high-demand niche in their own market.
That really is cool. Okay, so if we kind of pull all these threads together now,
Yeah.
what's the main takeaway here?
Well, I think if we connect it all, the integrity of the TNT car audio scene,
Yeah.
it isn't necessarily being sunk by widespread deliberate fraud. That's not what the evidence points to directly. Instead, the real challenge seems to be the absence of that formal third-party governance structure we talked about earlier, and maybe a lack of super transparent rules that clearly define and crucially separate commercial interests from how the competitions are actually run and judged.
Right. Which leads to a really interesting question, I think, for you, our listener, to chew on. How do local communities, these passionate subcultures, build and keep trust? How do they establish legitimacy in their own competitions when those big global standards aren't formally plugged in? What does legitimate even mean in that kind of local context? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into a really unique and clearly passionate world.